Okay. Okay, so I'm teaching these three lovely students about Vietnam, and they're going to ask me one question each. And so here we go.
What do you find most interesting about Vietnam?
Okay, so little funny tidbits. There's three. So one is the most common surname in Vietnam is Nguyen. Um, the the pet for Vietnam is a potbelly pig, and
I want that.
exactly. And what is the second one or the third one? Vietnamese. The language has 6 different tones within it.
Can you tell us what those tones are?
I cannot because it's a little too far.
Don't speak Vietnamese.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. So how is Vietnam compared to other countries when it comes to freedom?
With freedom, it is ranked 50.8% compared to all the rest of the other countries. And compared to last year, it lowered 0.2 points. And so that means that there's not a lot of monetary freedom. There's a lot of labor freedom is gone. And so there's just a lot of struggle within the country. And so it's stabilizing, but it just got a little bit worse than last year. So it's a little bit more that they need to do.
About like the climate, like what's it like? I don't know.
So the climate, it's more of like a how do I say it? It's like monsoon. It's like a monsoon climate. So some of the parts are like mountainous, and there's like snow that can be on top of it. But in the southern region and the central region, it's hot all year round. There's one rainy season, and it's from May to September. So it's kind of long. It's a couple months. It's not too long. But for the most part, it's pretty hot. In the northern area, though, it's kind of cooler. So it has a cooler season.
Like humid? Well,
Cut.
not the cooler.
No.
But like
It definitely gets colder.
Well, I mean, the warm seasons, are they humid? Like a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
So I'm here to teach you about the 8 millennial goals. Or I don't know if you guys have heard of them. 8 millennial development goals. So, the goals are made from all the different countries, and they come together to kind of, there's different reasons why they come together. There's 8 specific, and they have come together for, like, to help the spread of HIV or to help with primary education all over their country. And I think that they do this because they want to build their countries, and we want to be more globalized and want to help each other out. And so that's what a lot of it helps with. And so those are the goals for it, or just 2 of the goals. But so talking specifically about Vietnam, when you look at poverty and hunger, which is one of the millennial goals, I'll touch on all 8 of them. But on poverty and hunger, 12% of the kids, which range from 5 years old and younger, are underweight. And a lot of the children lack vitamins. And so if they don't lack vitamins, they're either underweight or overweight, actually. And this is blamed on, a lot of people like to blame it on the fact that the parents, their priorities are skewed, so it doesn't help the children, and the children aren't benefited from that. Another goal is to achieve primary education. I feel like they're doing pretty well in that area, not with just like children, but adults as well. And the primary education rate is like 93.4% to 94%. And so like their literacy rate is like really high, and that's children from like 15 up that like know how to like say a complete sentence or know how to, speak and communicate with other people. So that's pretty good compared to other countries. Mm-hmm. Gender equality and empowering women. Vietnam, the literacy rate and we use literacy rate for them, we did for this, was 91.4%, and for men it was 95%. And we use this because there wasn't a huge difference between men and women, meaning that it was clear to see that women and men kind of had equality within education and other things in their lives. So that's kind of how we figured out or tried to find equality within both of them. Reduce infant mortality. The infant mortality rate is about 19 infant deaths per 1,000. And so, I mean, it's not too bad, especially seeing in what country it's in, but it's definitely not great. So they could be doing better, but, and there's different ways to make it better, but they're doing pretty good. Improving maternal health, the rate is 59 deaths per 1,000. And so that's a lot. When you like think about moms and you think about the infants, a lot of their moms are dying compared to themselves. And so we're trying to figure out why that's happening and how that's happening. That could be, I'll be talking more about like environmental health, but their environmental health is doing it's doing pretty okay. But I think that's a big factor in why the mothers are passing away. Combat HIV, AIDS, malaria, and other diseases. 259,200 people are living with HIV, AIDS in Vietnam right now. And so that's just the people that have been found out or turned in with HIV and AIDS. And so it's not everybody. And so when you think about that, a lot of people in the U.S. actually have that number, or it's a little bit higher. And so if you think about it, I mean, Vietnam's doing pretty well, but you have to think of protection, if they know about protection, if they are injecting drugs, or if anything of those, and if that's a trend there. And so I don't think so, but I think that a lot of the biggest issue is that protection within sexual acts. And so yes, yes, we're going there. Sorry. The second to last one is ensure environmental sustainability, and 95.6% of the population has access to clean drinking water. And that's awesome because a lot of people don't have that. And so Vietnam is doing pretty well with that. And I think I rolled that into maternal health, that people... I can't.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She's doing great.
So I roll that into like maternal health, and I think that that's clearly the water situation kind of rolls over into other situations within the environment, and that we're doing pretty well with it. And so I just think that's awesome. And our last one is Global Partnership for Development, and the percentage of population below the poverty line is 11.3%. And so we look at that as like the employment rate is shows that more people, so the lower the unemployment rate, the more people that there will be to work. And so I think that helps globalization because we're able to use people in our countries to help globalize, to help go to different countries and talk to other countries and help boost each other up. And so I feel like Vietnam is doing pretty well compared to a lot of other countries in all other aspects. I think that there's ways that we can improve, like mortality rates and stuff, but for the most part, we're pretty high up there. I mean, we're in freedom, we're like 147th freest country, which isn't the greatest.
We as in you are Vietnam.
Vietnam,
Okay.
yes, Vietnam. But I mean, so in that aspect, not really, but in health and in helping each other as individuals, I think we're doing pretty well. So that's Vietnam. Yay!